I'm Patrick Bailey with iQlist.com. Today is March 8th, 2018, and in this video I'm going to show you how I quieted down my Prusa i3 mk3 printer. Okay, here's what happened. So my Prusa 3D printer broke. It used to be down in the basement, and so as part of fixing it I was worried about the temperature and the environment, so I actually brought it up into my room as I fixed it. And so after I got it initially fixed, I laid it down on the floor, actually next to my bed. And while it was on the floor, I let it run all night long for several nights, and it was very quiet. But then after I got all that done, I figured, well, it's kind of nice in my room, I'll just put it in my room, and I'll stick it up on top of this plastic drawers I have right here. And that worked just fine, but the problem was it got louder. Nothing changed. I think the Prusa i3 mk3 is very quiet, and I'm not even running in quiet mode. I think it's doing a great job, but there's something about this that's amplifying the noise. And so whereas before I could leave it on all night long and not really be bothered by it, even though it was right next to me, over here it's actually making more noise. And so I'm printing this guy out right now, which is going to probably make some noise. And so I'm just going, I don't have a decibel meter. And that might even not really apply in this case, but because there's just some high tones, little weird noises that catch your attention, and so I'm trying to eliminate those. And so I'm just going to do some recordings here to show the sound, and then I'm going to actually show you what I did. Just a simple thing. I haven't built a permanent thing yet, but a simple thing to show you what I did to actually dampen the sound, which is what effectively I guess my carpet was doing before. So with that, let me go set up this microphone, a bigger microphone, closer to it so I can actually pick up the noises hopefully a little better. I don't know how well it's going to do, but I'll be quiet here while it does some of its freak out mode. Okay, so here's the dampener I found. I was looking all over Thingiverse trying to find a dampener for this new i3 mk3, and this one will actually hook on to the extruder. Although it's a bit too short, especially with the LCD screen out in front, kind of goes a little lower, so I needed something taller. I'd like to design something, but I haven't yet had the time to go through and learn AutoCAD 360 to actually make my own designs yet. So what I did is I actually downloaded this design and I tweaked a little bit. So here's the URL for it. It's a thing 954.905. And here, let me just download it and show you what I did. So I just downloaded the STL file. And let me show that in the folder here. And then I opened it up in Prusa Control to slice it. And what I wanted to do is this little knob right here and these are the right length and size to connect into the extruder. It doesn't snap in. I think this might be adjusted to actually snap in better, but it actually hooks in okay. But I want to make it taller. So what I can do, let me see if I can think of the axis. That should be the Y. I can go here and unlock these. They're no longer connected. And go over to the Y and change it. So I think, it's been a while, what did I do? I think I did 150. So I made it just 150% bigger. And it might have been 200. Now I can't recall. So here you can adjust it. I made it 200% bigger, which actually will still fit because I didn't make that size any different. And then I just generated it, and that's what I did. I actually copied that 4 times and printed out 4 of them with a brim, and it worked. That's worked just fine. For the dampeners, I think I can design maybe a better one once I learn how to do these things, but I don't know. that's the dampener I made, and that's the one I printed out. Okay, so what I think I need underneath it is one is just some mass, because this thing jerks back and forth. I think that's part of it. And then also something that's a little bit maybe less uniform than maybe this plastic or something, so I can just prevent it from shaking. So I need some mass and some dampening. And so I'm going to kind of pull this off while it's running right now and put on this box exactly what I've been using lately, and it's quieted down to what it used to be. And so let me go do that right now. So let me just slowly move this guy while it's running, which may not be the smartest thing, but it works. Let me go grab all these pieces that I did. So I'm going to make something more permanent later on, but all I did was stick a couple 2x4s down. And I've got a big hunk of plywood I put down too. And then I think I might double up on this, but I just have some particle board. Figuring that's just will probably help dampen it a little bit. And then some of the last things I did is I took some of these to be as a footing. And here is those printouts I printed out. So you can see they're a little taller. I made them taller so that otherwise they were too low. And so I think I can redesign this myself once I learn how to use some 3D CAD software, but for now this seems to be good enough. And so the idea is this will actually go on the extrusion. So let me move this back slowly, and this is going to be an interesting thing to do because I'll do it one at a time. So what I did is probably shouldn't do this while it's running, but I will. Take all these individual feet off. And then this is shaped in such a way that it will fit right on that aluminum extrude. And so I'll just put one of those under and put it on this little, this is one of those kids' plastic floor mats. We actually got that at Costco, and that's what's covered in our basement. So I'll just pull every single corner off and put this on. And I don't think this is the ideal dampener, but it's better than what I have. But I think the combination of it all definitely improves what we had before. So there's one side done. Hope I'm not hurt myself. As I hurt myself. Don't do this at home, kids, right? It's probably not a good idea to move a running 3D printer. You know, one, it can probably mess up your prints, and two, I can pinch my fingers in there, right? And that is not a good thing. So I'm trying to be very careful. So don't do what I'm doing. It's my little piece. Okay. Okay, so there's all that. Let me put, one argument might be the tools were jostling, but I think that can be accounted for by the mass of things. So I'll just stick some of these tools back on. In fact, I got some more that I'm normally leaving on here. And so there we go. Let me see if I can record this again in the same manner. So I'll kind of stick this up here. And we'll see what it can do. And now the Prusa i3 mk3 does have a quiet mode, which I guess does have some penalties, like it won't detect problems or won't overcome some problems. So I haven't even turned that on. I'd rather have it on this high-powered, non-quiet mode and then figure out how to dampen it, because it's still pretty quiet. And so I've run this a couple of nights since, and it hasn't been a problem. In fact, I work from home, and I've had people comment they could hear it before, and now that I've dampened it, they can't really hear it. And I'm just a few feet away from it, and I run it a couple of nights, and it really hasn't heard it. Oh, I'm getting some tangles up here. But with that, the proof's in the pudding, so I'll just let it run and just record the sound. So I don't know how well this is going to transfer to a video, but the noise reduction is, it definitely sounds quieter to me here. It's definitely not waking me up in the middle of the night as it prints stuff out. Sometimes I do turn the speed down at night if it's doing something, down to 50%, and it does quiet it down a little bit more too. But so far it's been working pretty good, and I don't think I'm done yet. I think I'm on the right track. I think I can do some more dampening here, or probably better, some more mass, so this doesn't jostle around so much. But it kind of shows that the noise, I introduced noise to it. It's actually a very quiet printer, but the fact that I moved it in a certain position actually made it louder. And so now it's very quiet, it's not silent, and maybe I can do some more stuff to maybe get any further. And if anyone else has any ideas out there, I'm still new to 3D printing, so if there's any ideas of what you guys have done to dampen the noise, yeah, please post comments or anything, because that's really interesting to me. What else can I do? What else can other people do to try to quiet down an already fairly quiet printer so it just becomes really silent, really quiet background white noise? And that's kind of my goal. Anyway, just thought I'd share all that. Hey! If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hey, give it a thumbs down. Also, if you like what we were doing here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button. And lastly, have a piece of info to share? Just post a comment.